morning, everybody. It's Saturday, January 27th, and you're watching Esports Go here on Challenge TV. I'm your host, Justin Maestas. It was a huge night in the Overwatch League last night as two of the best teams finally faced off against each other. New York Excelsior and Seoul Dynasty both came into the week undefeated. But after New York was upset in their last matchup, would they be able to respond and beat the last undefeated team in the league? The battle for top team in Overwatch League is a grind. We start on map 3. Jonak takes out the Dynasty's Mercy to secure the point. From there, the Excelsior are able to hold it and take round 1. On round 2, Sebayobi tracks down the Dynasty's Mercy and takes her out. He moves on to the rest of the Dynasty. Despite a great showing in round 2, no one on the XL hops on the point to contest the 99%. The Dynasty claims an easy victory. All tied up, it's down to round 3. Sabe's pick on Munchkin secures the point. The XL hold it for the rest of the game. At 99%, Libero's Barrage, combined with Sabe's cleanup, secures a victory on map 3. The XL are up 2-1, going into map 4. The Dynasty respond and take map 4, bringing our match to a tiebreaker map on Lijiang Tower. The XL continue to show how they are the kings of control maps and take round 1 easily, thanks to efficiency as a team. Round 2 is the last chance for the Dynasty to extend the game. They do not perform well, however. And to seal the game, Meko and the Excelsior chase the Dynasty to their own spawn, taking out one by one. In the end, the XL do it. They beat the Seoul Dynasty juggernaut and win the series 3-2. This was a huge win for the Excelsior. Sebayobi was great in this match, going a combined 89 and 17. He was all over the place with his tracer and constantly bothered Fleta and the entire backline of Seoul. This New York team is fighting for a position in the Stage 1 title matches, and this result puts them in the driver's seat. Seoul and London both still have some tough matches coming up, including a match between them next Thursday. That third and final spot is going to be a fascinating question mark as we approach the final weeks of Stage 1. While the opening match had all the hype, the Fusion needed to handle their business against Shanghai Dragons, who took a point against the Seoul Dynasty last week. After halftime, the Dragons are in a must-win situation down 2 games. The Fusion take round 1. The Dragons need to win 2 control points in a row to take map 3. Undead shows us a next-level Deadeye though, taking out Carpe from the bounce pad. Picks like this keep the Dragons on the point, and they take round 2 with ease. The storyline is the same in round 3. Constant picks from the Dragons keep the Fusion from ever attacking the point full force. The Dragons also show just how sticky they are on the point. The Fusion keep the Dragons in overtime for over a minute. In the end, the Dragons keep the Fusion off the point long enough to secure map 3. The Dragons also take map 4, meaning we're headed to a map 5 tiebreaker at Lijiang Tower. The Fusion wake up and are dominant throughout the tiebreaker map. Shadowburn secures the round 1 win with the Dragon Blade into the front, back, and sideline of the Dragons. Round 2 is not a carbon copy, but ends in similar fashion. Shadowburn takes out the Dragon's Mercy. With no support, the Dragons crumble. The Fusion prevents the reverse sweep and takes a 3-2 victory over the Dragons. The Fusion were able to pull it out at the end, but it wasn't easy. I have to say, look out for the Fusion to be a contender for a Stage 1 title spot. Not only are they in 4th place, but they have a favorable schedule coming up, which includes games against the Fuel, Mayhem, and Uprising. The Dallas Fuel were coming into the week looking for their first win of the season. Their previous opponents had a combined 16-6 win-loss record coming into the match. This was their best opportunity against the San Francisco Shock. Let's take a look at the highlights. We start on round 3, where the Fuel have a chance to seal their first victory with a win on Ilios. Round 1, the Fuel are dominant with effect, getting key pickoffs on the Shock to maintain control of the point. In the end, it comes down to a 99-96 control point percentage. Mickey lands a hook to toss Nevix into the Dark Abyss. Without a tank, the Fuel easily secure round 1. On round 2, Mickey brings the masterful hooks again. First, he lands one on Dante. Now we take a quick interlude to check out effects taking out Dash. And back to Mickey, who lands another hook to take out Sleepy. Without their supports, the Shock are forced to retreat and the Fuel maintain the point. Dante needs to make plays, and fast, to keep the Shock in this. He Dragon Blades into the entire Shock team, taking out all of but one member of the Fuel. He is taken out, but the Shock maintain control of the point. We're down to the wire with both teams at 99-99. Seagull hops onto the point. There's not much the Shock can do after taking out Sleepy. The Fuel take their first victory of the season. They go on to win map 4 and end the night with a score of 3-0 over the Shock. It seemed like the Shock's inability to close that map contributed to the Fuel win. Those first 2 maps were heavily controlled by San Francisco, but a halftime score of 0-1 seemed to get in the minds of the Shock. The 3-0 result didn't quite tell the whole story of the map. Look, I'm one of the Fuel's biggest defenders, but they need to get better with their team compositions if they want to make a comeback this season. Wasn't the prettiest of wins, but hey, a win's a win. Will it kickstart their season? That's something we'll have to see. With the conclusion of today's games, now it's time for my heroes and zeros. My hero has to be Obley of the New York Excelsior. When the team needed him most, not only was he fantastic on Tracer, he stepped up with some intense Dragon Blades with his Genji, and took out some crucial picks of the Dynasty. My zero has to be the Dragons' communication on Lijiang Tower. No one seems to know who is going to stay to cap the point. Instead, they all get off of it at the same time and lose precious seconds of control. All right, let's take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more Esports Go. Welcome back to Esports Go. Epic Games announced that they will be shutting down their Paragon servers. The third-person MOBA will be shutting down on April 26, 2018. They said in the press release, "We didn't execute well enough to deliver on the promises of Paragon. We have failed you despite the team's incredibly hard work, and we're sorry." However, to compensate the players, they will be offering full refunds to every Paragon player for their purchase on any platform. The Overwatch League has gained 2 new major sponsorships. T-Mobile will be the official wireless provider of the Overwatch League, and Sour Patch Kids will bring content that will air on the live streams, including branded Thundersticks and free sweets. 2 more large brand names have entered into the Overwatch League. Esports is expanding and expanding quickly, in part thanks to the Overwatch League. I hope you've had enough monitors to check out all the new matches tomorrow. We'll see you in a second after the break. Hey, welcome back to The Go. This week has had some of the most exciting matches this season and had some of the most intriguing matchups to close out the week. First are the Fuel and Uprising, battling it out to earn a perfect 2-0 week. After the upset of the London Spitfire, Boston looked to continue their streak, while the Fuel looked to prove they're better than their record indicates. The next matchup features the LA Valiant and the Florida Mayhem. The Valiant are coming off one of their biggest wins of the season against their rivals, LA Gladiators. Can they continue to prove they're a top team in Overwatch? And finally, the last matchup is the LA Gladiators versus the Houston Outlaws. Houston has been one of the hottest teams in Overwatch. After starting 0-2, can the Outlaws continue their hot streak? Well, thank you so much for joining us here on The Go this morning. What a great weekend of gaming. Make sure to tune in to the Esports Go updates on Monday to see the results of this weekend's esports events. Check out our website and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Check out our YouTube page for all of our videos. I'll see you next week. I'm Justin with Challenge TV, and you've watched The Go.